place to go. Nothing to do. If you gotta do something, you gotta do something. Believe in yourself. Yourself. Hey!
Extraordinary things can happen if you believe in yourself. You got to have the faith in yourself if you want respect from your friends.
Don't rearrange. No need to change. Stay like you are. Keep it all the same. But as you move along in your life, keep an open mind. And don't forget that if you gotta do something, believe in yourself.
Extraordinary things can happen if you believe in yourself. You got to have the faith in yourself if you want respect from your friends.
When you feel tight, look at yourself.
Inside your heart, you will find a special place to align.
When you feel right, look at yourself.
Inside your mind, you see a eternity. Inside your heart, you will find a special place to align.
When you feel right, look at yourself.
Inside your mind, you will see cosmic eternity.
Alrighty. I think we are ready to go. So.
Oh my god, that scared the crap out of me.
Well, here we are. So, how's it going, everyone? This is Imperial 2K20 back in the house with another Team Cola podcast episode. And today we have Dawnheart joining us from PolarisVT. So.
Hello. Do I just do an introduction here?
Yeah, if you want to introduce yourself or like talk about PolarisVT or anything like that, yeah, feel free to go for it.
Okay. Hello everybody. My name is Dunheart53. I am the Celestial Bunny from PolarisVT. It's nice to meet you all.
Yeah. So I think one thing I guess I would probably want to start off with, probably to talk about, is I guess PolarisVT in general, because I've seen many, I guess, VTubing groups out there, and some are corporate, some are like sort of the indie scene, some are like just unofficial sort of groups. How would you describe PolarisVT for anyone that doesn't know about PolarisVT?
Okay, so... Oh my god, it's raining outside, Jesus Christ. Sorry.
No, good.
So basically PolarisVT started off literally as a random idea that Nyx came up. So she kind of like, hey, let's freaking make a VTuber group with the two of us plus another friend of us, which is Jet.
Okay.
And we're like, yeah, sure. Me and Nyx were already like established VTubers. Meanwhile, Jet was not yet debuted, so we had to like work out. Oh no! So we had to like work out about his model.
Okay.
Sorry, someone's in my room.
No, all good.
And yeah, we just started as that, I guess. Jet is not that much active because he also has some training at his side.
Okay.
But we tried to make our group as friendly as possible. It's nothing too serious. It's already just like a group between friends. And we did announce recently in our official Twitter page that we are having new members soon.
Nice.
So, hey,
Yeah.
that's basically it.
Yeah, it's interesting because I guess for people that aren't VTubers, it probably seems quite, I guess, interesting how there's, I guess, VTubing groups, then there's some that are like corporate VTubing groups like Hololive, VShojo, and then you see like all these sort of different ones that don't necessarily classify themselves as, I guess, corporate groups or even just the standard sort of unofficial, just friend sort of VTubing group. It's quite interesting, and I guess it can make it a little bit confusing at times as well. And
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, because it's like you might sort of, I guess one day you might come across like a VTuber who's in a group, and you might go, like if you're, I guess, maybe a starting out VTuber or just a streamer in general, you might go, are they a corporate group or are they like just a friend group? Like, how do you approach doing, I guess, any kind of collaborations with them? Like, is it like in different sort of, is there different ways of going about it? It's really interesting. And
I mean,
yeah.
definitely. I think I should say this. During our auditions, actually, we decided to like handle an interview, and one of the people who auditioned was like, "Yeah, does this come with a contract?"
Oh.
And we're like, "No, no, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. This is strictly just for friends, man."
Yeah, it's really interesting because I think like when I first sort of joined the VTubing scene, I was kind of just like, oh, so there's like these VTubing groups that are not corporate? That's interesting. Like and yeah, it's like I remember I was like, when I first saw these friend sort of VTubing groups pop up, I was like, oh wow, like okay. And I see the official PolarisVT coming in the Twitch
Hey,
chat.
yo!
Hey yo, nice, let's go.
Hey, yo,
How's it going?
awesome. I see my child and manager in the chat. Hi, Sheena.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's really interesting, and it's like, I remember, I think when I first heard about I think it was another VTubing group that doesn't exist anymore, but it was Cyberlive, and they, I remember when they first started off, like when some of their members started off, and it was corporate at first, so it was all like the proper, I guess, business, kind of like Hololive, Shoujo, and they were starting out, and then over time they went along, and I think they now are just an unofficial group that's sort of changed to just being like a group of VTubers that aren't corporate anymore. And it's really interesting seeing that some of those change over time as well. Like, some might change from being, I guess, friend groups to actual corporate groups. Some will change from corporate to just unofficial sort of groups, which is cool. But yeah, so I guess it kind of, now that there's probably, I guess, possibly a clearer understanding of VTubing groups to people who aren't in the VTubing community, it kind of shows, I guess, the differences now and makes a bit of a better look at what it's like. But
Very true. Sorry.
oh, good. Yeah, so I think, I guess one way you could look at it as well is like some VTubers just like the idea of having a group so that you can like have your friends together and kind of be like known as a cool group together. It's a cool thing, and like I've always wanted, I guess, at some point to make a VTubing group, but I've never fully gone through with the idea. But I've got a lot of friends that do have interest in VTubing to a degree, and some are like, oh, like that would be cool if we made a group, and we've just never done it. But but yeah, and then I guess there's probably a lot of other vast differences as well out there, like when it comes to VTubing groups. Like, some obviously being the corporate side, there might be potential, I guess, limitations by contract of what you can do, and I guess like how much creative freedom you have over certain things. But then when it comes to a not so like corporate and like not so official group, just a friend group, at least you still have that kind of creative freedom to just do what you like within reason, obviously. But
Within reason.
yeah,
We
it's
still
like,
try to keep some sort of professionalism within us.
yeah, you still keep that professionalism, but you still get to express yourself and kind of show what you like and how you are as a person, like what your interests are, and I guess you're not so limited by a contract that tells you what you can and can't do.
Very true. Also, hello Aztec.
Hey, Aztec coming in the Twitch chat. Nice. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, we're doing good, Aztec. We were talking about the VTubing groups and like the differences between corporate and I guess unofficial sort of / friend group sort of VTubing groups, and yeah, it's quite interesting. So
The lady, Jesus.
damn, Aztec coming in with that. Yeah, so I think
Sweet.
I think one thing we'll talk about. One thing I guess what this is probably one thing that kind of comes across to every VTuber is, I guess, how did you get your start in VTubing? Like,
Oh, okay.
like was there any
Okay.
particular influence that got you into it or anything like that?
There was definitely an influence, which is interesting because that person wasn't technically a VTuber at that
Okay.
time. He was actually his name is Heavy Balls.
Okay.
Yes. When I met him, back then I was like so addicted to VR chat. Like the model
Okay.
that I'm using right now, the only reason that I made this model was strictly to have like my own character in VR chat because
Oh
I have
wow,
some of
okay.
my friends who are like very dedicated to making their own models in Unity and stuff. And then I met Heavy and during like a little like event, I guess. And we
Right.
started hanging out and I found out that he was actually a streamer on Twitch.
Okay.
And I would sometimes pop in and out of his streams.
Hmm.
And I felt like, this is actually he looks like he's having fun. This actually really looks kind of fun. And at that time, I was also like low key dipping my toes into the world of VTubing, especially
Right.
with Niji Sanji,
Okay.
because I'm sure like everyone has that problem. Well, that experience, I guess. Like you saw like a random video on YouTube, and you just watched this one video, and then suddenly everything in your recommendation is about that topic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So like I think I watched the video compilation about Kanae from Niji Sanji. And
Right.
then suddenly I just saw everything is just VTuber, 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 VTuber. So I was
Yeah.
like, why the frick not? So I decided to just use it. I have my own avatar. I just need to use my overlays, and that person Heavy actually helped me a lot with with my overlays, how to set up Streamlabs. And yeah, that's basically how I started.
Nice. Yeah, like I guess I'll talk about I probably talk about this every podcast episode when I discuss like I guess how people go into VTubing, and I guess I sort of come into how I got into myself into VTubing. But yeah, I remember when I first got into VTubing, I think Niji Sanji, like a lot of those current VTubing groups did not exist at the time.
True.
So I was
VTEN was not a thing.
yeah, I was around in the VTubing community, like sort of just keeping an eye on it at the time. I wasn't dedicated to it, and I wasn't a VTuber myself, but I was around basically when VTubing first got its sort of way into the Western audience. And with everyone had already known about HoloLive at that point. VShojo did not exist yet, but
True.
at the time, a lot of Western VTubers were all basically indie VTubers. So you had Project Melody starting out, Iron Mouse, all them as indie VTubers. And I think Project Melody was my first major influence to get into VTubing, like, and also to just expose me to VTubing, because I was watching anime YouTubers at that point, and
Oh, okay.
I was watching like the Anime Man, Lost Pause, all of them.
Oh my god, let's go.
I was watching them, and I remember one of Lost Pause's videos at the time was interviewing Project Melody, and this is when she had first like sort of came on the scene. I think at that point she had only debuted on certain 18 plus website that I won't name, and she was getting ready to debut on Twitch at that point. So I was like, what is this VTubing thing? I was like, what is this? And then suddenly over time came along. I sort of saw more of her content. I saw Iron Mouse's content. I think I saw some of Snuffy's content, and then a bunch of others as well. And by the time I started streaming, I was an IRL streamer, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh, I might as well go see what these small little indie VTubers are. I'll go through Twitch. I'll go through like the lowest viewed, see what's going on there, because I had no idea if there was many VTubers at all, really. So I was like, oh, here's a few VTubers, like clicked on one and then kept watching their streams for a while. And then it just kept growing on me at that point, going, oh, VTubing looks so cool. So
I can be my own main protagonist in my own anime.
yeah, it's like I can be my own anime protagonist. So
I can be my own waifu.
yeah, so then that's when I started discovering a bunch of other VTubers, like even Momo, all them. Like I sort of started making the connections on Twitter as well, because I was like, oh, maybe I should have a Twitter account and actually check out what people are doing on Twitter. And
oh, that's great.
But yeah, there was definitely not as much I guess Twitter sort of craziness going around, like with all the different stuff that people say on Twitter. Now it's like, back then it was so much more, I think, just, oh yeah, here's this cool content. Now it's just like, oh, just everything, and it's like too much.
Everything is VTuber.
Everything is VTuber. Like it's like not just talking about content, but also talking about, like, I guess, different beefs between VTubers, and I'm just like, okay, I don't really need to know about this. It's like, I just want to enjoy people's content, and as long as they're not weird people.
Please. That's all we want, please.
Yeah. But the VTubing community is still fun. It's like, even though there's all this sort of stuff recently, I guess, where all this particular social media drama stuff, I'm just like, aside from that, the VTubing community is cool. Aside from that, the VTubing community is fun. So yeah. So
good question asked. Am I a redhead? I'm not an actual redhead, but I have red hair. Does that work?
It's like, I guess that
Sure. I can't do a redhead accent, but sure.
Yeah, like yeah. So I guess we can probably talk about, like, I guess we can lead into anime, since we've talked about VTubing. Like, anime is something I tend to bring up, I guess, a bit when it comes to every podcast episode, because usually nearly everyone I ask likes anime in some form.
Let's go.
so that's cool. But what type of animes do you generally watch?
Oh, sorry. Back then, I'd say like sports animes was like,
Oh.
I had a phase for that when I was in high school. So like freaking Free Watobi Swim Club, Kuroko no Basket, I was really into those.
Nice.
I also watch a bit of shoujo, but not as much compared to like some other people.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
all good. Yeah, I think like sports animes are interesting. Like I've never really, I guess, seen the appeal of sports animes personally, but it's like I guess it's just something I've never really explored with anime, like the sports anime genre. But I do have some friends that love like some of the sports animes. I think there was one particular sports anime that one of my best friend liked, and
What sport was it?
it was soccer. So I'm pretty sure.
Oh, soccer, frick.
Yeah. So I think it might have been Izuma 11 or something.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, like he loved Izuma 11. Like I never watched it personally, but like. But yeah, like sports animes, I guess there's probably some kind of appeal out there for them. I'm just not sure, I guess, what makes them appealing. Maybe it's just the fact that it's a sport anime and it's
the
about
hot anime boys, man. There's a lot of hot anime boys.
Probably that.
Too many.
But it's like, I mean, they could just have an episode just filled with like the fan service and be like, here's everything, like.
Oh, if you're talking about fan service, Free Watobi Swim Club is literally an anime about swimming, so it's literally fan service every episode.
True. Yeah, like that would make sense. But yeah, I think when I got into anime, because I had I guess bits and pieces of times where I got into anime when I was probably like a really young teenager, but I didn't really follow anime at that point. I was still watching cartoons and stuff. So I was like in that sort of, I guess, phase. But then when I saw like Naruto and a couple other animes like Pokemon and stuff, at first I just saw them as cartoons because I was just like, oh, Cartoon Network airing these shows. Okay, makes sense. But then I guess when I finally get into anime, funny enough, my best friend, the same best friend who liked Izuma 11, he was like, he was watching a particular anime, and this was when we were still in high school, so like 16, 17 at the time.
Oh no, I'm scared.
He was watching High School DxD.
Oh god!
And at that point, I was just like, I saw him, like, he had his headphones in. He was just in the corner, had his headphones in. And I just sort of peeked over and I was like, what are you watching, man? And he's like, oh, High School DxD, like, it's a cool anime, you should watch it. And I'm just like, are you sure that's an anime? Because
I see a lot of boobs, man.
yeah, just all, it's like, all the booba, all the fan service, and I'm just like, oh, are you sure this is an anime, man? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then next thing you know, like I'm watching 3 seasons of High School DxD as my gateway into anime. And
I was gonna ask, what was your like first official anime? But okay, I guess that's answered.
I guess it technically is my first official anime that really got me into anime. So it was like, okay, cool. And then one of my other friends, he was sort of more into, I guess, the animes and more slice of life and romantic comedy and stuff like that. And I guess after a while of watching like the sort of shonen sort of animes or stuff like that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch some slice of life stuff. And
here comes the tears.
It's like, here comes me watching K-On! And I think I recently watched, I think probably season 1 and season 2 of Kaguya-sama Lovers War. Like that was so good. It's so good. I love it. It's like the dynamic between the 2 main characters. It's just so cool. So I really recommend
hearing
it.
the song, man.
Yes. The songs in some of these animes are just so good. But I think
agreed.
It's like I always mention every time, I guess, when it comes to action animes and stuff like that, like Naruto to me, it's an anime that I guess, really shaped me to watch anime and to like anime, because I loved just seeing Naruto's path and how he was going compared to Sasuke's. But Sasuke was the cooler character, though. I gotta say, Sasuke's the cooler character. Like,
I love Sasuke.
Sasuke is my absolute favorite anime character, I think. So, like, I just like his style. I understand, like, I get the understanding of why he does what he does and why he chose to do the things he did. But I think a lot of people just look at him and go, "Oh, he's just this edgelord character," and I'm just like, bro, if you look,
hey, what's
down,
wrong with edgelords?
nothing wrong with an edgelord character. It's like in the gaming space, like I love the Sonic franchise because it's been my favorite game franchise since I was a kid. So an edgelord character like Shadow coming in with the gun, I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. but Sasuke, like, just to me has like a really good character development, and I think the manga, if people read the manga, they'd probably have a lot more understanding of Sasuke's character and even more why he chose to do the things he did. But it just, to me, like, his story is a tragic backstory, like having his clan wiped out and wanting to restore the clan because he wanted to get revenge on his brother for wanting to, I guess, kill the clan, which there's a lot of backstory around that and why Itachi did that. So yeah, it's like, I guess I won't give too much spoilers, but it's like,
yeah, I've never watched Naruto ever, so I'm like,
but
I am familiar with those facts.
Yeah, but it's like, it's just one of those stories, there's a lot of depth to it, and that's, I guess, one of the reasons why I like Naruto as an anime. It's like, there's a lot of depth to it, and it's a good anime to start with, but you don't have to watch all of it. Yeah, if you have the commitment, like, you could, like, there's guides online of what animes you can skip and well, what episodes you can skip and what stuff, like, you just don't need to know, basically. But
no, I'm being judged by my child.
It's like, you did not watch Naruto, disappointing. But nah.
Oh no.
But nah, it's...
Yes, I am a disappointment to my actual child and manager. I'm sorry. I'm used to being a disappointment.
Yeah, it's but yeah, it's like Naruto, like, it's a highly recommended anime, but like, there's many guides out there of what you can skip because there's a lot of filler, and I don't know why they made so much filler, to be honest. But
I think that's the reason why, like, I got turned off to freaking watching Naruto, because I cannot handle too much filler. Like,
yeah,
special episodes fine, but if it's like, I don't know, 10 to 15 episodes of filler, no thank you.
Yeah, it's like, how does this relate to the plot? Oh, it doesn't. Oh, so why is it here? Oh, just because we wanted to make it. Okay. It's like, why not just have a spin-off series of stuff that you want to talk about, like, off?
Like, it's so unnecessary.
It's like, I would love to see a bunch of Naruto spin-off series, like, talking about characters like Itachi and Minato and all them, but it's like, they just never did it. But
never did.
Fairy Tail is one of my favorite animes as well. Like, it's like, I think I remember hearing about the final season of Fairy Tail coming, and I'd started watching it at the time, and I was like still probably around just early into watching it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it my mission to watch Fairy Tail right up till when the final season airs. So, and I made it. So I was happy I made it to that. And
congrats.
And then I watched it. The only thing I skipped out on with Fairy Tail was Fairy Tail Zero. And I watched the first episode of Fairy Tail Zero, and I was like, oh, this is not what I wanted. Not what I expected. So I was just disappointed because I just wanted to get straight into, I guess, the final season. And this was the season right before that, which was technically a spin-off season because it had nothing to do with the main plot. So I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna skip out on that.
Yeah, I'm out.
But it was just like a season about, I think, the history of the guild and the predecessors, and I was like, yeah, I don't really want to watch that. I'm not interested. So I just,
my god, more backstory? Get that away from me.
it's like I just didn't find it interesting. Like I watched the first episode and I was just like, yeah, no thanks. I don't want to know about this.
Weird for me?
Hey, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, what's weird for me is like I've never like watched any of like the big name animes. I've never watched Fairy Tail, I've never
Okay.
watched Naruto or One Piece, and I get judged so fucking much for it.
Yeah, I get judged for not watching One Piece, and I just like I've got some friends that watched One Piece and are still watching it, and I'm just like, man, like I just can't do it. Like just seeing the amount of episodes of One Piece, I was just like, do I want to watch that? I don't know. Like I don't have an interest in it. And I don't know. I feel like I get drawn to an anime if a trailer like really incites me to watch an anime, then I'll go, yeah, that's gonna be an anime I'll watch. But and like I don't know, Kaguya-sama Love is War did that for me. I was like, at first I was thinking, is this just gonna be some boring anime? But then like I watched the trailer.
No, it's not.
And I'm like, no, this is not boring. This looks cool. And then I watched first episode. It brought me in. It just brought me in, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. But
I mean, they even freaking made a live action of it.
yeah,
if I remember correctly.
I have not seen it. I've not seen the live action, and I get I don't know, I get this weird feeling if I watch the live action I'm probably gonna be disappointed because a lot of live actions don't go well.
Sorry, you're talking to a person who's like an avid watcher of like live action adaptations and just Japanese dramas in general, sir. So I've seen a lot.
Yeah, you would have seen a lot, so you probably would be able to judge if a live action anime is good or not.
Decent or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I can name some like really good live action ones. One is definitely the Death Note ones, and not the one that fucking America did. Nope.
Okay.
The one in Japan, thank you. Like they made like I think so many. I think they have like three movies and one series.
Okay.
The movies, I'm gonna say, it follows most of the anime. They kind of changed the ending, which I'm not gonna say for spoiler reasons.
Okay.
If you want to like watch the live action for Death Note that's accurate to the actual anime, I recommend you watch the series one, which is not that bad. I'm kind of the only change, I guess, is that Mello doesn't exist.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Mello's basically a puppet.
Okay. Wow. Yeah,
I'm just gonna leave that to your imagination there.
Yeah, like one of my friends, my best friend's fiance, like she loves Death Note, so like she got me into watching Death Note, and I loved it. I loved Death Note, like the anime, right through. Like it was so good. I was just so disappointed with how it ended, though, because
Wait, are you a light person or an L person?
I'd say I'm more of a light person. Yeah, like I loved his character, and I could sympathize with his character quite a bit. I was like, oh yeah, okay. Like, I see why you're doing what you want to do. I like the idea to a degree, but then it's like...
Just develop the god complex in the end.
Yeah, just a little complicated in the end with everything, but it's like... but I was really disappointed with how it ended. I actually was really hoping for Light to win. Like
Mhm.
I wanted to see him win, and then just to see him like how everything ended in the end, I was just like, man, this sucks. Like it just sucks so much. Like his whole goal of everything was like so close, and then
That's so close, but again,
they're just
it's gone just
outsmarted.
because of one certain detail that he outlooked.
Yeah,
That shouldn't be outlooked. That was such a stupid thing, but
yeah.
hey, anime logic, I
It's
guess.
like plot armor.
Plot armor. Another thing about live actions, I think like where you're gonna get like good live actions, I guess, are the slice of life slash shoujo ones, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like that would make more sense. Like slice of life would be
Mhm.
really easy to translate. At least I can think that live. It would be an easy translation to live
Very.
action. Like I would love to see. I would love to see like well, because I've never seen Kaguya-sama Lovers War translated to live action. Like I would love to see that.
I mean, I've heard like it's getting good press, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it per se.
it would be interesting to see. Like I'm trying to. It's like I always look back at animes that I've watched, and I come across this a few times where animes I watched like 3-4 years ago that I never finished. I go back and go.
Oh,
I go back and I go, have I watched this? Like, I just go back and go, did I watch that? Like, I don't remember this. And then I watch like maybe 3 episodes and go, I watched this before. And I'm just like,
it's like
it's like, and I just get so confused and I go, wait, when did I last watch this? And I go, oh, I watched this back in like 2018 or something.
2018. Oh god, I feel so old now.
Oh man.
Oh
Like,
man.
it's like I was like at that point I was I think 2018, like I was leaving high school at that point, and like I'd only been watching anime at that point consistently for like 2 years. So I was very new to anime at that point. And
2018. I was 17 at that time. I was a baby. I wasn't even legal yet. Jesus Christ.
yeah, like I was like just getting out of high school, and like I think I watched a few different slice of life animes at that point.
Mm.
There's this one anime I can't remember. I can remember like I tried to continue it a year ago, and because Australia was like in lockdown a year ago, and
Ah.
like we were in lockdown at that point. Probably it's weird to think that a year ago we were in lockdown, and I traveled overseas already this year. But
Imagine traveling.
like last year, I was going, imagine traveling. That would be insane.
That would
But
be insane.
but it's like I tried to watch. I think it's called. I'm not. I'm probably gonna butcher this name, but it's like called. I think
Mhm.
Dagashi Kashi or something, and it's an anime like about like this guy and I think his father or grandfather owns like a candy shop or something, like a Japanese candy shop. And
I don't think I know
then
this.
yeah, it's an interesting anime. Like I'd have to look it up, but like there's a lot of memes on it as well. But this anime was pretty much it was also a manga, so which makes sense because most mangas turn into anime. But it was like about Japanese candy manufacturing, and it's a very slice of life anime. But I tried to continue it because I watched it back in like 2017, 2018 for about 10 episodes, and then I was like, I want to see how this is going now, and I found out there's much more episodes. And I tried to continue it, but I just then kind of get sidetracked again and just not continue it.
Oh no.
But And that happens to me with a few animes. Like, I watch it, I get dedicated to it, and then I just completely switch off from it and just get sidetracked by other animes or something else. And I come back and I just don't get into it again. It's so weird. Like,
I can relate to a certain extent, yeah.
yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess, probably happens with TV shows and games and stuff as well. It's like you go, oh, this is good, and then you just get completely sidetracked and you go back to it and it's like, no, it doesn't feel right. But
That's me with fucking Attack. Sorry, am I allowed to swear in your stream?
yeah, sure.
Okay, that was me like with fucking like Attack on Titan. Like I
Oh yeah.
finished season 1, but I didn't like I watched a bit of season 2 and I was like, eh. Then I put it off, and then next thing I knew they're like final season. I'm like, what?
Wow.
So already the final
Yeah.
season? Fuck just happened.
Oh man, like I remember people in high school, like when I was in my final year of high school, we were talking about animes and stuff, and someone was like talking about Attack on Titan, and they were going, man, like Attack on Titan's so good, and I'm just here going, I've never watched it. and me, I'm too busy on my gaming grind, just trying to have a bit of fun with games. But
Don't interrupt the grind, man. Respect
Yeah.
the grind.
respect the gaming grind. And at that point I was like trying to make YouTube videos and stuff, like doing IRL YouTube content, because I wanted to, even though I was not getting any traction on YouTube, I was just like, yeah, I want to make videos, I want to have fun. And I was like just doing, I think at the time, just like vlogging content, like with my friends who were just like doing probably really, these days stands, probably really shitty YouTube videos. But
My god,
like-
vlogging. Imagine. Just kidding, I used to vlog too.
yeah, it's like I still every once in a while try and do vlog content on YouTube, because I just like
Mhm.
doing stuff that's just more, I guess, real life as well. But yeah, like I was just in my grind and I'm just like going, like Attack on Titan, I've heard about it, but I've never watched it, and I still haven't watched it because I just haven't been interested in it. Like there's some animes that I just go, yeah, I don't think that's gonna suit me. I just don't think I can watch it. Like I had a friend, the same friend who introduced me to K-On! Introduced me to I think at the time Tokyo Ghoul, and
Oh god.
I remember watching the first 3 episodes because like I was going, oh, this plot sounds like it could be cool, and then I got really, I guess, grossed out by the whole, I guess, cannibalism aspect of Tokyo Ghoul.
Yes. Thank you.
I just couldn't get down to it. I thought other than that, I was like, yeah, this is a good plot. This is a good character. But then just seeing the cannibalism aspect, I just got so turned off by it. Like I was just so grossed out. I was just like, I don't think I can watch this. Like it just seems weird to me. And
Yeah.
I don't know, and like there's a lot of people that avidly enjoy Tokyo Ghoul, and I'm just like, I just can't do it. I just
Too gory and gross for me. I say
Yeah.
that, and I'm a person who's freaking watched Corpse Party.
yeah, I've never watched Corpse Party, I don't think, but
If you're not into gore, don't.
yeah, I
That's all I'm
remember
gonna say.
and it's like I was one time watching, I think I watched a few horror movies in my time, and there's some pretty gory ones out there. And I think I watched this, I think it was like made by the same people who made Jaws. I'm not sure, but I can't remember the name of the movie, but like there was definitely a lot of chainsaws and different stuff like that.
God.
And I don't know, I liked the gore in that. I thought it was kind of kind of good in that, but it was not very scary. It was just more like, oh yeah, here's some gore, and I'm just like, this ain't scary at all. But
Disgusting.
like there was some moments where you go, okay, you could get jump scared, but other than that, it was like, yeah, this is just a gore movie. Like, but I don't mind the gore sometimes, but it's like, I don't know, horror mixed with gore, or I guess the cannibalism sort of thing with gore, it's like, yeah, no, I can't do that.
Hey, have you watched Higurashi no Nakakore Nido?
I feel like I've heard of it, but
How do I say this? I was gonna. The first thing that came into my head is like it's the one with the girl with the green hair. That's all. Wait, let me see if I can like send a picture. If I can.
yeah, I'd have to have a look because I can't think of it. I feel like I've heard of it, but I can't think of it. It's like there's so many animes like with the Japanese names. I'm just like, I don't know that one.
When they cry. When they cry, I think that's the
When they cry.
English.
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know if I've watched it.
Here, I'll
Like,
send you a picture.
it sounds familiar.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure I've heard of it. But yeah, I don't think I've watched it.
That one's also a bit of intense as well, in terms of the goriness, I guess. But it also is like really good of making you uncomfortable.
Right, okay. Yeah, there's one anime out there that's really disturbing. Really disturbing. And I remember, oh man. I had the name in my head, but this anime took, I think, the borderline to next level, like adult level, it took it to the next level.
No.
And in my mind I would class it as not an anime, but it got classed as an anime. Oh, I got it's in my head now. I think it's called Redo of Healer. And
oh god.
yeah. I had a friend who said, "Hey, you got to watch this." And I'm just like, "Oh no." Oh no. And
there's a reason why I've avoided this anime for so long.
Yes. I'd say say to people, depending on how comfortable you are with like really gruesome stuff and really disgusting sort of stuff, then go for it. But it's like, if you're not comfortable, yeah, don't watch it. Like, I watched 2 episodes, the first 2 episodes, and that's when I was just like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
I shut off the balls to start off that shit, because like,
yeah,
I've heard, I think I've seen Anime Man like talk about it in one of his videos, and I was like, nope.
Yeah,
nope.
It's just got some really disturbing themes, and I mean, plot reason, it makes sense. Like they've really made it around the plot for it to make sense, but basically, I think the best way to describe it is, I guess it's probably, I don't know what time period like in this fantasy sort of world it's set in, but I would say it's set like in a time period that would resemble somewhat the Middle Ages, probably. And basically this guy ends up getting the power to, I guess, go back in time and sort of have, I guess he goes back in time, like reverts his consciousness back to his younger age, so he can then exact revenge for everything that had happened to him. And like, he has this really sort of stuffed up idea of revenge. So he's he's just like, oh, I'm gonna do the things that you did to me, but back to you. And it's like, no,
No.
that's not the way to go about it.
No.
Like,
This is why revenge is never the answer, my guy.
it's like that's why it's why like I'd say in life I'd say like in a life perspective, like I guess I used to have that sort of mindset of being like, oh well, like revenge sometimes is the answer, but over time I've realized to myself it's just not gonna work. Revenge is not gonna work at all. Like,
It's just not worth it.
it's not worth trying to do anything over. It's like if someone does something to you, like you might as well just let them go. Like let them go, like realize on their own what they're doing.
I just had a weird, funny thought. So I remember like like it's a Filipino like variety show. One of the hosts is like, no, I'm not gonna get any revenge on you. I'm just gonna pray something bad happens to you.
Yeah. Probably the better answer. Definitely the better answer. It's like, hey, hopefully you realize what you're doing is not right. Like,
I'm just gonna pray something bad happens to you. I hope you tripped on something. Just keep it in your mind, man.
Yeah, like it's like man, like I guess talking in my own real life perspective, it's like I was bullied pretty much from the day I was in primary school right up till like the 4th grade. I was bullied like nearly every single day by the same person. And I didn't have the strength to stand up to him. I was like, I didn't want to fight back. I didn't want to do anything, like, because I didn't have that sort of in me to try and fight back. But this is funny how I met my best friend, actually, because he had this kind of mindset at the time of being like, well, hey, if you're gonna F up, like, if you're gonna F up my bro here, like, I'm gonna freaking F you up, man. So he gave it to the bully, and he never came back afterwards. He gave it to him, and it's like, let's go. Primary school fights. But
primary school fight.
but that's how me and my best friend met, and we built our friendship basically off interactions like where we'd known each other before that, but only briefly. But then he comes up and he sees me getting picked on. He's like, bro, I'm gonna freaking pick on this dude, like, for doing this shit. But
that's a good person right there.
yeah, so that's how we became best friends, and that bully never came back. He in fact left the school after that.
Oh, actually?
Yeah, he like, I think, like, because he had this whole mindset of being like, I'm the popular one, I'm the bully, I pick on these so-called nerds or so-called losers. Like, it's like, but then getting himself beat, it's like takes away all the pride, and yeah.
Fucking pussy. I mean, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so he was gone, and then yeah, like I remember he ended up at one point going to the high school I was at, and he did not last very long there. He didn't pick on me or anything. He was, at that point, I think he had probably changed enough to realize his actions in primary school were stupid. But he still, like, at the time, he still had this kind of attitude to him. I was just like, yeah, nah, you're still not cool. Like, you're still like, you're still like it's just one of those things. But like, I think I don't know, it's like this whole dynamic in school life of like having the popular kids and the nerds and all this sort of stuff. I don't know, it's like
hierarchy, I guess.
This whole hierarchy idea, it's like just like, look at individuals as as who they are, not because of the group that they're in, or I guess like the whole sort of chain of going, oh, they're the ones that look good. These ones are the ones that look like shit.
I just remember the freaking like cafeteria scene in Mean Girls. Like those are the jocks, and those are the nerds. Those are the mathletes.
Yeah, it's like if you looked at my friend group in high school, like we were just this Frankenstein group of like, oh, he's the guy who likes anime, he's the guy who likes sports, he's the guy who I don't know what he does. Like
He does something, but
he does
yeah,
something.
he's just there.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like I don't see the point of this whole hierarchy thing. It's like I just look at people and go, are they cool? Yeah, they're cool. Like
When you go to college, that hierarchy is not really there.
yeah, like I think because my last two jobs that I've done are both like kind of like I guess similar to internships and stuff, but it's like it was a traineeship and I met like a bunch of people. We were studying the same thing but also working, and we all got to know each other, and we didn't see anyone as like in these groups or anything like that. We just like all spoke to each other like normal people. Like
Imagine talking to someone like a normal person. Oh
it's
my
like it's like
God.
damn, that's so amazing. Never had that before.
So amazing. They actually have a brain. Sorry.
It's like wait, I can talk to people.
Talk to people without being judged immensely.
Yeah, it's like it's like in primary school and high school, like that's pretty much nearly unheard of.
It's a non-existent.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got an ad on the stream. God damn it.
It's like the ads.
Yes, no.
It's like damn. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like in high school, like I guess like in high school I didn't see it as like, and maybe in the first half of high school, like I saw it as like, oh, they're the popular kids, I can't hang out with them, like they're gonna judge me and all that sort of stuff. But then later on in high school, like I just didn't care anymore. I was just like, yeah, I'm just doing my own thing.
As long as I have one friend, I can survive.
Yeah, like literally that was what my group of friends turned into at the end of high school, just me and one friend. Because the rest of them were in like the older year groups, so they all left and finished up, and then some of my friends just split off and made their own groups. So it was just me and one friend, and what we would do at lunchtime is just watch anime.
Nice. Best bonding time.
Yeah, we just watched anime because we ran out of stuff to talk about over the years. Like we used to talk all the time, and we were just like, yeah, we got nothing to talk about anymore. We got no one here to interact with in our group. They're all gone, so we might as well just watch anime.
Anime is always the best solution to everything.
Anime solves all the world's problems.
Yeah, it can solve anything. It can even solve world hunger. I mean, what?
Say what?
I mean, what?
Yeah, just like it can solve everything.
Everything.
It's like, oh, you're starving over there? Here's some anime.
Here's some anime. You got this.
Yeah, it's like
Everything's gonna be daijoubu.
Yeah. Yeah, and then suddenly you see the memes like life is not daijoubu.
Life is not daijoubu.
Oh man. One
Oh my
YouTube
God.
channel that I guess that sort of relates to the anime scene, depending on the trash taste law and stuff. Like
Let's go trash taste.
it's like you've got abroad in Japan. Like it's like I love Chris Broad's videos. I gotta admit, I love his videos. Like I loved watching them, like even before, like I guess really watching anime and stuff. I just used to watch them, and then I guess that sort of led to the gateway of more about Japan, because
Girl.
like just seeing all those videos and seeing the cool stuff about Japan makes me want to go to Japan. And that was originally going to be the place I wanted to go to as my first holiday.
Oh.
But pandemic happened, and
Oh no.
and my ideas went down the drain because I was like, well, I can't go now. I can't plan anything. I can't go there. And then, and even now, it's like Japan is still in
I
its.
think they love it now.
You can go there now, but I think you have to go through a travel agency.
No, I don't think they. I think they broke that down now. I think you can just go there normally now.
Oh, wow. Like if
At least that's what I thought. I'm not sure.
yeah, because I remember like a month ago, not even, they changed the rules to where at first
be in a group.
at first it was like, oh, you want to come to Japan? Go in a tour guided group, like a guided tour, and it's like, I don't want to do that. Who's gonna do that?
And now they're like, and they saw like the decline in tourism. It's like, okay. You can go here individually. Like you still need to avail a tour.
Yeah, and then it's like, if it's changed now, like to be open, I'd be like, man, that.
Let's go.
It's like, let's go. But it's like me, I already went overseas. I already spent my money overseas.
I haven't been overseas ever in my life, which is kind of ironic because I am a tourism major in my in my college.
Damn.
It's like, I'm aiming to be a flight attendant, but I've never been on a fucking plane before.
Oh man, it's like I've been to, I'd say, if I'm speaking technicality wise and counting stopovers,
Oh yeah, you can.
I guess
Stopover flights are a thing.
sure. It's like, I'm trying to think of how many countries now, because like,
Jeez, he's been around the world.
I've been around the world everywhere. Like I went to like New Zealand. I've been to 3 times in my life because I've got family over there. And the first time I was 2 years old, so I can't remember it at all, really. And then second time I went over when I was about 10 years old, and then I went over when I was 16 years old. So and originally, because like me and my cousin over there, we used to have this idea that like every so many years we would sort of go over, like they'd come over and see us and we'd go over and see them, sort of thing. But we haven't done that for a while, and also the pandemic sort of put that off. So I haven't been over there in, I guess, 6 years now. But yeah, so New Zealand was one. I went to Fiji when I was 14, and that was an experience, like seeing, I guess, like how their culture is and stuff. It's quite interesting. And
come to the Philippines. I mean, what?
It's like, I may actually be having that on the cards potentially. I've got a friend that wants to go over. So
let's go.
So who knows? Maybe next year I might be heading over there.
Let's go. Time to eat balot. I mean, don't.
It's like, I don't know what it is. So
it's egg. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay.
But there's a reason I've avoided eating that specific egg all my life.
Interesting. I'd have to find out what it means, and I guess what.
I don't know what it means actually. I just call it balot.
Yeah, it'll be so interesting. Like if I go over there next year, I'll have to figure out, I guess, all these different things and go, let's see what's going on over here. But
Let's go.
yeah, so then when the pandemic hit, originally my idea was to go to Japan. However, because I guess when I was starting to plan going over to Belgium and the Netherlands, because originally what sort of set me off to go to Belgium and the Netherlands was like, oh, they announced TwitchCon 2022. And I was like, oh, that's going to be in the Netherlands? That's cool. Maybe I'll go over there, possibly, as one of my first trips. So then...
Thank you for the definition of balot, Sheena.
Oh.
Sorry, go on.
I was just like looking. I was just actually gonna. I got distracted by reading the definition. I was like, oh, okay, that's. So it's wow. It's commonly sold as a street food in southern China and Southeast Asian countries. Cool. Yeah. So TwitchCon got announced, and I was like, man, that's gonna be really cool to go to if I can do that. And then I did the Team Cola podcast episode with Momo back in, I think that was in March. Yeah, that was like end of February, early March from what I can remember. And we were discussing like Belgium and stuff, and I was like, man, TwitchCon's happening in Netherlands, Momo's in Belgium. Why not just do a trip?
Ayo.
Why not just do a trip to do both things? See Momo and go to TwitchCon. So yeah, I was literally just going, hey yo, this would be an idea. So then I hit up my friend who's actually the friend that wants to go to the Philippines. I hit up my friend and I was like, hey, we should go to Belgium and the Netherlands. And he's like, yeah, that's a cool idea, but unfortunately he couldn't come with me. Like originally, like we planned it, like we had these ideas, and we were gonna start planning it around, I think, 2 months or 3 months before I left. And he said, nah, unfortunately with uni, I can't make it. Like I'd be stressing out with uni. And I was like, damn. And at that point, I just bought my TwitchCon tickets.
Oh no!
So I jumped the gun and bought the TwitchCon tickets, thinking he was going to be locked in to come with me. And I said to him, hey, I just bought my TwitchCon tickets. And he's like, nah, I can't make it, man. And I'm like,
Guess I'm going alone.
So I was like, well, I'm not going to let this go to waste, even though this would be quite the endeavor for me to try and take on myself. I was just like, fuck it, let's go.
Let's go.
So I started booking plane flights, I started booking hotels, and I was like just looking up what the advice was of how long I should stay in different places depending on how much it's going to cost. And the one thing I learned was that I could have spent more time in Belgium, but nearly all the guides I was looking at were saying, oh, Belgium is super expensive to stay in, you don't want to stay there too long. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, all right. But I realized I could have stayed there for much longer, so I was like, oh, well, maybe next time.
I got scammed.
So I ended up flying to, because of how long the journey would be, I flew from Sydney to Doha in Qatar, and that was like, I think 15 hours of a flight. So I spent 15 hours in the plane, and of course I'm not going to sleep in the plane because I'm not going to be comfortable enough in my mind to do that. So I got there, then I had a 3-hour stopover in Doha. So I stayed there, and then I was like, okay, what am I going to do for 3 hours? So
Oh my god.
So got
Watch
through
anime.
yeah, like I literally should have had, like, I guess my laptop full of animes. I would have like just all my definitely legally downloaded animes. It's like I would have definitely done that. I should have done that, but I was like, oh well, like, and because I wanted to explore around the airport, because like it was actually known as one of the largest airports as well.
Oh.
So I had a look around. It was massive. Like you could get a tram from one side to like the other. It was insane.
Jesus.
So then I finally got on my second flight and got to Brussels, and I was like, shit, okay, how am I gonna get to the center of Brussels? Because I had no idea. I didn't plan on how I didn't plan on how I was gonna get a train to Brussels. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll just get a train. That'll work. But I was like,
That'll
okay.
work.
But I was like, okay, how do I do this? I got no idea. I can't read anything because it's all in like either French or Dutch, and I don't know any French or Dutch.
No.
So I was just so confused at first. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm fucked.
But I found out how to do it all. So I was like, oh, okay, that's easy. I found my way around. Got into Brussels in the center, and I was like, okay, now how am I going to get to my hotel? I thought, oh yeah, this will be an easy walk, right? Just a 20-minute walk, nice and easy. Get the steps up. And I didn't take into account, I guess, how much tiredness I would have had from 2 plane flights. And so I was like completely exhausted by that point.
Oh, no.
And carrying the
The jet lag
suitcase.
too.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah. But I did it. I got there. And then I was like, and also because the next day I was meeting up with Momo. So I was like, I was just so exhausted. I was like, okay, I got to the hotel. What am I going to do now? Do I want to eat?
Rest.
No, because I was like, people in Discord were saying, hey, eat. And I'm just like, bruh. Like,
I'm tired.
So I was like, okay, fine, I'll go get something to eat. So I was like, okay, I'll go get Burger King. I'll just get some Burger King.
Oh, damn, Burger King.
Like, we don't have Burger King in Australia, so I was like, this will be an opportunity.
Oh, you don't?
No, we have our own sort of variation. Technically, it's like Burger King. It's pretty much a carbon copy, but it's Hungry Jack's, we call it. So
Okay, I've heard of Hungry Jack's.
Yeah.
From Real
Yeah.
Economics, I think.
it's essentially Burger King, but legal disputes back in the early 2000s that led to Burger King shutting down in Australia.
No.
I don't know the full legalities of it all, but it's an interesting story. But yeah, so I got Burger King, and I was just like, I barely could eat it. I was like, I'm just too tired to eat. But I ate like half of it, and I was talking to Aztec actually on Discord at the time, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to bed. So I went to bed, and my sleep schedule was actually really good while I was in Belgium and the Netherlands. Like, I adapted like that to the time zone. So
Nice.
like, I slept at the right time, slept all the way through the night, woke up at a good time, and then I was like, okay, perfect.
Oh, according to plan. Just
all,
kidding.
all according to plan. Definitely no stuff ups on the first day whatsoever.
all according to Keikaku. I mean, what?
So yeah, and then like the next day, like, met up with Momo, had a good time meeting up with Momo and Bubbles. It was amazing. And yeah, and then I say this every time. Like, I say this every time because, like, I was like really surprised at this, like, because like we ate Belgian waffles, we had freaking like, and that was good. Then like we had like a nice sort of meal at this place. Like I got a steak at this place, and I was like, yeah, this is so good. And but I kept saying every time, and Momo, if you're watching, like, it's like you didn't have to pay for everything. Like, because I was just going, man, like, bruh, like, it's like, why are you paying for me? Like, I'm just like, man, like, I feel bad. I still feel bad.
Oh, that's nice of her.
Yeah, I was like, bruh, like, why?
Bruh.
And
Bro, why are you gonna do this to me?
I still remember the excuse she gave me, and I'm just like, man.
What'd you say?
She was like, "Oh, you made your way all that way over here," like, and I'm just like, bruh, that doesn't mean you have to pay for me.
It's bruh.
Yeah, I'm just like that, bruh, like, come on. Like, it was so nice of her though, but I was just like, man, like, it's like, I'm just like, yo, next time if I come over, or if she comes over to Australia or whatever, like, I'm paying next time, because, like, bro, I it's like, how do I make that even? I don't even know how much it was.
God, that's how much she freaking
like,
words.
It's like, I got no idea how much any of that was.
Jesus.
Man.
Oh no, I'm filling up a sneeze. No. Oh, it's gone.
But man, but TwitchCon was a good event too. Like, TwitchCon was so good. Like,
I can imagine.
yeah, it's like, I still remember some of the key moments. Like, I met up with some streamer friends, like, that I had met, like, or I guess just from watching their streams, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be at TwitchCon, cool, let's go." And so, like, I met up with a few other smaller VTubers and stuff, which was awesome. But still, the highlight moment for me of TwitchCon was meeting up with Shy Lily and Numi. Like, seeing those two in person, and then Mary as well in person. Like,
oh yeah, Mary.
Yeah, it was so cool. Like, but it was so overwhelming, I think, for Shy Lily, because this whole crowd, and I didn't know that this whole crowd was there to see her at all, because we were all like at the meeting spot. Like, I remember they put up the tweet the day before saying, "Oh, we're gonna be at this meeting spot at like 2 p.m." and we're just like, "Oh, cool, okay." Me and a couple other VTubers who had met the day before, we met there, like, we got there about 12 p.m. because we were like, we don't know how many people were gonna be there. And we were just like talking, chatting, getting to know each other and stuff. And then suddenly when Shy Lily and Numi sort of like come out and sort of, I guess, reveal themselves to be there, like, suddenly this whole crowd of people, like, that was sitting at tables, like, I think playing D&D and other stuff, just stood up.
Wow.
Like, this bunch of people, like, in the artist alley, like, on that side, just stood up, and we're just like, what?
What?
Because we thought there was like only about 20 of us, not even. But suddenly there's like another like 80 or so people there just stood up. Because that lab was so smug for that lab was so wait, anyone know Darren Zeus? Because that lab was so smug for being stepped on by Shy Lily and Numi. I remember that.
What?
Yeah, there was this guy there who got stepped on by Numi, Shy Lily. I think there was also some other big VTubers there. Like, they all stepped on this dude, and it was on Twitter.
What The fuck?
I remember seeing that. That was funny, actually. But
Oh my
yeah,
God,
he was
imagine
definitely smug for that. He would have been smug for that. But yeah, like, but once I saw that crowd, I was like, holy shit, what? And so we, like, I think we all then made a line to, I guess, get like signatures off them all and photos and stuff. And
Mhm.
I remember I went up to Shy Lily and Numi, and I could just tell Shy Lily was like so nervous, like seeing so many people. Like, I could just tell because she had to like step back for a moment, basically just to kind of go and take it all in. And I basically went up to her and I was kind of like just trying to, I guess, kind of go, I guess, be having some kind of reassurance to her. But I was like, hey, that's a lot of people, eh? And she's like, yeah. And I'm just like, I'm just there like, oh man, like this would be like probably the first event for her to like actually see like a crowd like that. Yeah. Wait, fun fact, Shy Lily is a quote-unquote midget.
Oh no!
Oh my god. Oh. I'd say, well, I'm trying to remember because, like, me actually seeing Shy Lily and Numi IRL. Like, I mean, I'm roughly like 5'7", so
Oh, you're taller than me. Let's go.
like, it's like I thought I was short. She's 4'10".
10?
Yeah, that's probably that probably sounds right. Yeah.
Who's taller? Her, Nyx.
Yeah, like I think me and Numi would have been a similar height from memory, and then yeah, Shy Lily would have been a bit shorter. But yeah, like. But yeah, I was just like, she seemed so overwhelmed by the amount of people, and like Numi would have had a bit of experience at that point seeing that because she went to Anime Expo in the US. So it was good that she was there to kind of, I guess, be a bit of support to Shy Lily, because I think Shy Lily would have been quite overwhelmed on her own seeing that. But just from my experience, I don't actually know how Shy Lily would have been feeling at that point in time, but I could only guess. But yeah, like it was crazy just seeing that amount of people, and yeah, and then talking to Mary like in person, like Mary like seems so, I guess, reserved and quiet. And
yeah, confirming this is Merryweather, right? Or is it?
Yeah, Merryweather. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay.
like, he seemed so quiet and reserved. Like, he was like signing our TwitchCon badges, and I told him how I made the journey all the way from Australia to TwitchCon, and he was like, "Oh, really?" Like, he was just like probably thinking, "What? Are you insane?" Because.
Actually, are you insane for doing that shit? Jesus.
I mean, I probably am, but
That's like,
yeah, but it is such a long distance. Like I didn't really expect myself to do it, but I did it, and then
congrats, man! Pat on the back.
yeah, and then originally, coming back from the Netherlands, I was meant to go from Amsterdam to Singapore and then fly back to Sydney. But that didn't happen because a few days before I flew out to Europe, I got that leg cancelled on me. So
what?
Yeah, so Singapore Airlines, they came out with like, due to like all these factors, we can't, this leg has been cancelled. So the leg from Amsterdam to Singapore got cancelled. And I'm just like, okay, well, how am I going to make it to Singapore to then go back to Sydney? I can't do that. That's not possible. Like like I kept searching up flights. They kept saying to me, "Oh, is it possible if you could fly out from a different airport?" And I'm just like, "So how am I going to get to a different airport? Like, am I going to suddenly just like drive from Amsterdam to like Germany or something?"
What?
Like they were expecting me to make a choice of going to a different airport in order to make a leg to go back through Singapore. And I'm just like, I can't do that. Like that's not possible. That's not possible, bro. Like
That is not possible.
like that would just stuff me up like entirely, because I'd be going, how am I going to make this? So then my half sister comes in clutch and goes, "Oh, I found a leg to go from Amsterdam to San Francisco and San Francisco to Sydney." And I was like, okay, that could work. I mean, it's nuts, but it will work. Because I'd be stuffing myself up time zone wise much more, but it will work. It's the only option I had. So I took that option, cancelled. I asked to Singapore Airlines to cancel the rest of my flights and stuff and refund me. And they did, thankfully. So then I got over this to San Francisco, and I basically spent probably, I think, 5 hours in San Francisco in the airport, just going, what the hell am I doing? And then I was like, once I finally got on that plane, I was like, thank
God.
Yeah, I was like, thank God I can finally get home. And the weirdest thing in my mind is going, okay, it was Wednesday night in San Francisco. I made it back in Australian time to Sydney at Friday morning.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was like 10 p.m. in the US on Wednesday, and then I'm back in Sydney at like 7 a.m. Friday morning. That's how whack the time zones are.
Sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, so it was insane. Like I felt so jet lagged by that point. I was just like, I lost all sense of time at that point. I was like, bruh.
Too much time zones I had to go through, man.
Yeah, and like I ended up napping like for the first time ever. Like I ended up napping like in the day when I got back, and then tried to sleep.
Morning naps are the best.
Yeah, so I then slept that night, probably from like 2 a.m, woke up at 6 a.m. on the Saturday. And I was like, man, this is the earliest I've woken up in so long. But
congratulations,
man, man, that was just
sounds
nuts.
like a really crazy journey for you, man.
It was a crazy journey I never expected to take. Like, I was just thinking, oh yeah, I'll do a Japan trip and have a good time and come back. But I still had a good time. It was still, even with all the wackiness to it, like it was a good journey, because I got to see a lot of stuff that I never probably would have seen. So yeah, and meet people I never would have met otherwise. So
true.
Yeah,
that's great.
But then I had this idea in mind originally of going, oh yeah, maybe the US next year, because I went to San Francisco. And then I could meet my US VTuber friends. But I was like, how's that going to work, though? It's expensive to fly to the US. It's so expensive to fly to the US. So I'm just like, I'll hold off on that, at least for now. But now I've got one of my friends going, yo, you want to do a Philippines trip in April next year? And I'm just like, hey, yo.
Let's go.
So I might do the Philippines. Like, I might.
You can meet the friendos.
Yeah, it would be so cool. Like, I'd love to go to the Philippines. Like, it's been on my bucket list for a while.
Let's go.
It's like, just like any Asian culture country has really been on my bucket list for a while, because I'm just like, I'm always fascinated a lot by Asian culture. So
Oh, yeah, that's true.
yeah.
I mean, the hotel that I'm basically gonna be working by Tuesday is like, it's if the Philippines were gonna be like a freaking hotel, that's literally it. I mean, it's a reason it's
Right.
called like Manila Hotel for a reason.
Hmm.
It's literally named after our capital, and it's
Hmm.
been there ever since the war, actually. Ever since like
Hmm.
America decides to colonize us
Oh yeah.
way back then. So it's been there for like decades already. Also, hi Zeki.
Hey.
But I took like a small tour, or like walk around at
Hmm.
least the front part of the hotel before I went home after the orientation, which was tiring, by the way. It was started like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Oh
Jesus
god
Christ.
damn.
Yeah, I drank like 2 cups of coffee straight, man.
Oh god. Yeah.
But yeah, there's like a lot of like cultural paintings.
Hmm.
Everything, like every furniture is like made by traditional wood.
Oh
Yeah,
nice. That's cool.
it's very like cultural influenced. Even like the main uniforms of like the girls, or like the, I think they call GSO, which is basically the people that you see in the front
Hmm.
door, aka
All
like
right.
the face of the hotel. They're
Okay.
like kind of just into like a modernized twist of our traditional clothing, which is honestly
Oh
really pretty.
nice. Yeah, it's really
So
interesting. Like, I guess like mixing traditional with modern is always interesting. Like, it just has a weird way that it works, even though in a lot of ways you would think it shouldn't work. So
that is true.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like,
I'm excited to start working.
yeah, that sounds really exciting. And yeah, it's like, I mean, I don't know what to say about Australian culture. It's like I mean, obviously we take a lot of culture off of, I guess, really any English speaking country. Like, it's like, obvious. I guess one of the biggest sort of similarities would be the fact that we were both colonized countries, I guess. Like,
Let's go.
it's like, let's go,
My hell,
except us being colonized by the British. So
actually, that's funny thing too. We've been like colonized by Britain for like, I think, 2 years.
huh, that's
So we're
interesting.
on the same boat. What's up?
Yeah. And then I think in your country's history, at one point you were colonized by the Spanish as well. From
Yep,
yeah,
300 years.
damn, yeah,
They're the first.
that's
It's crazy.
a lot of history there. Like,
Yeah, if I have to like go through the list, so it's like first it was Spain,
yeah,
then Britain for a short time, then America,
yeah,
and then Japan, and then
yeah.
us.
And then finally, here's the nation.
Here's the nation. Yeah, we went to a lot of shit.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's crazy because I guess with Australia, like, there's definitely chances, like, in history we could have been colonized by different countries, but we weren't. Definitely chances we could have at one point almost been colonized by the Dutch, but we weren't.
Oh,
So it's like, because considering the Dutch influence in the region, like, there was like, I'm pretty sure the Indonesians were colonized by the Dutch. But it's interesting because colonialism is just one of those things that's, it's bizarre.
very.
Very bizarre. But yeah, it's like, I guess in general the Philippines has had like a really, I guess the way to describe it is like a complex history. Like, like it's a complex history with lots of different turns of events.
Oh, it's still complex. Don't worry, man.
Let's see.
Philippines colonized by Spain, Brit for a bit, Spain again, then Murka, then Japan, then a bit of Murka, then the dependency came.
Yeah.
Murka.
it's like anything that America touches, it's like, okay, right. Yeah, we're America.
Technically, Murka. Murka was the reason why Manila Hotel was even established.
Oh.
So they did a good thing.
Good job, America.
Good job, America.
It's like
They created the first 5 stars in the country.
yeah, it's like some people try and say, oh, thanks to America, anime became a thing. It's like, I mean, maybe the anime that we know, I guess.
Italian.
To yeah. Like,
Oh god, I remember having going through a fucking Hetalia phase back in high school.
oh, I had a friend that did the same thing.
I'm still salty that they weren't able to produce Philippines. Because there's like a lot of like freaking artwork of her and she looks so pretty. Which is weird. Cause like in the
Yeah.
community, they fucking shipped her with America.
Huh.
For some reason. I'm like, okay, I can see why. Sure, maybe out of all the people who
Yeah.
colonize us, they're the one who's quote unquote the nicest. Sure.
It's like looking at the British history and colonization and of my country, it's like, yeah. It's like, I mean, yeah, it's like we have a very close cultural link, but that's for particular reasons probably. But like considering I guess the native population to this country, I mean, probably very different opinion from them. But it's like, yeah. It's like there's always, I guess, this, I feel like there's this kind of rivalry influence in Australia, at least. It's like over the history, it's like most of the time it was like, oh yeah, it's like Britain is our ally, and then it's like World War II. Oh yeah, Britain's our ally, but the US though, they're our real ally.
Oh my god, China.
It's like, oh god. Like, oh man. But it's like there's so much we could talk about, like when it comes to, I guess, colonization. But
my god.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, that history is like, it's very complicated, I guess, for many countries that were colonized. Like,
especially if you've been colonized for fucking 4 times or more.
Oh god. It's like that makes
You've been through a lot of shit.
Yeah, it's like it's nuts. It's a lot of different. I mean, the best part about it, aside from all the atrocious stuff, is like here's the food influence.
True.
It's like, I guess Australia is quite interesting too, because like we like to look at ourselves these days as a multicultural country, and we call ourselves a multicultural country because there's many different backgrounds and cultures that all live here now. Like, it's like, I'd say we probably could class ourselves multicultural, like, since after World War II, because first we had the Greeks and Italians and all them come in with their cultures and foods and stuff. Then we had like a bunch of Middle Eastern cultures come in, and we had Asian cultures come in, and it's it's crazy with the amount of different food that you see here now. Like, so many different types of food, and all pretty relatively common to find, at least in my opinion. So it's
Now I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner.
yeah, it's like every Team Cola podcast episode, there's always somewhere where food gets discussed. Always. And
It's a thing.
it's just the thing to talk about. It's like, yo, I want to eat that. Like, it's like, that looks like it slaps, and it's like, bro, let's go. But yeah,
I'm gonna be hungry, but let's go.
oh yeah. Yeah, it's like, even I'll probably be hungry again, just being like, yep, I want more food now. But
I haven't eaten. My eggs are waiting for me downstairs. Just kidding.
damn.
And do like me
Damn.
some eggs.
It's like, damn the eggs, man.
The eggs, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
like some good eggs.
it's interesting because, like, I'd say in the last 10 years in Australia, like, the main, I think, different foods I've seen really pop up is there was a wave of, like, everyone going, yeah, we want to eat sushi. And like, everyone would just not stop talking about sushi for a while. And I was like, bruh, that's cool. Like, I mean, it's not my thing, but
Same.
hey, like, everyone was talking about sushi. Now everyone seems to be talking about boba tea all the time.
Oh god. No, you're making me crave. Fuck.
It's like craving the food.
I mean, I prefer boba tea without the boba, honestly.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
just personal preference, because I don't like boba.
Yeah, the first time I tried boba was actually in Belgium when I was hanging out with Momo. Like, I tried boba and I was like, this is different. I don't know how I feel about this, but I enjoyed it though. But I was just like, yeah, I don't know if I'd have this all the time though. But it's interesting because there's many different flavors and stuff, and I'm just like, okay.
I haven't tried like the tiger stripe flavored bobas yet. The one that's just like sugar.
Yeah,
Because I know
haven't.
like that's just boba in general. But
Huh.
I'm like, but my braces.
Yeah. Yeah.
My braces are gonna die. My braces are gonna suffer if I eat that shit.
Yeah. It's just it's the types of things, like, there's so many different food influences. Like, I mean, one big food influence that really took off in the last 5 years or so was actually Lebanese food in Australia.
Oh,
Like, a lot of people were like, yeah, Lebanese bread, Lebanese chicken. Like, it's like, because we have this chain of Lebanese food that took off, and it's called El Jana, and it's good. Charcoal chicken and stuff. It's so freaking good.
wait,
Like,
what chocolate chicken?
yeah, charcoal chicken they call it. So it's like, I guess it's the type of cooking style, like, of how they cook the chicken. It's basically charcoal grilled, I think. So it's nice though. Like, it's really good. But it's like, Australia is just so, I think Australia is really unique where, like, everyone just goes, oh, here's a really cool foreign food to eat. Like, and just goes, yeah, let's make that a trend. But and sometimes we come up with our own sort of twists and inventions that blend the cultures as well, which is cool, because this happened with again with Middle Eastern culture. Like, we blended Middle Eastern culture with ours, and we created the halal snack pack. So yeah, Australia created the halal snack pack. So Like it became a snack pack where you have like sort of kebab meat, chips, and like different sauces on it, and that's the Halal snack pack.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, someone came up with that, and it just took off, and yeah, like it became a thing. Everyone wants it now. So
I swear, trends. Damn it.
it's like, yep, that took off. Like, I mean, I wouldn't eat it personally very much because it's literally food that would give you diabetes. It's just it's so much food.
I mean, diabetes though.
Yeah, it's like, food? Do I get diabetes and eat this? Or do I not eat this?
Is it worth it?
Yeah. I mean, I tend to be like that, I guess. Like, I just go, every time, like, my friends talk about getting, like, takeout, it's always just like, that KFC, though, looking pretty good. And I just fall victim to KFC all the time.
Oh god, KFC, don't do this to me, sir. I literally just like ate that yesterday and I still have like mashed potatoes in the fridge, man.
Oh, damn.
I'm so eating that after this.
Yes. It's like, just go straight in. It's like, so, grilled cheese, yes. Yes.
Oh no. No. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh
no.
I love a good grilled cheese.
Context. It's been an inside joke, sort of.
Wait, what?
So that's an inside joke in my community.
Oh.
Because I don't like cheese.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a fan of like cheese, like I can handle like chips or like maybe cheese on some pastas, but if it's like other
yeah.
stuff that's like cheese is like so overpowering, I don't
Oh,
eat
yeah,
them.
yeah. I feel you on that
And
one.
so it's like my child, Sheena, is like, so try some grilled cheese. And I keep saying like, yeah, I'll ask my mom to do that someday, but it never happened. So it's just like, yeah, when you're gonna eat the grilled cheese?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, for me, I only really have cheese, I guess. Like, if it's like on toast, then yeah, I can do it.
Yeah.
Or if it's like,
No.
or if it's in a pasta, yeah, I can do it in a pasta.
Pasta's forgivable. Pasta's forgivable.
And also because I love making like just a simple like cheese and bacon pasta. I just love making a simple cheese and bacon pasta all the time because it's just so easy.
Hey, yo, bacon.
It's like, I love bacon.
Speaking of cheese, like I was at my orientation the other day, and they gave us like free snacks and shit.
Oh,
So for like the morning snack, they gave us like a sandwich, like a TLC or something. It was
Oh.
so dry,
Oh,
and the
no.
cheese was like so fucking thick, and I was like, oh no,
Oh no. Yeah, that's
oh
yeah.
no. At least at least I drank some good Earl Grey tea. It made me feel fancy.
Yeah. Let's see. I eat cheese on rice. I may be weird, but this is how I go. I've never seen a combination like cheese and rice before.
Same.
It sounds
Also, I
bizarre.
don't like mac and cheese. I also don't like mac and cheese.
Oh.
Ugh.
Hmm.
That's way too overpowering cheese flavor for me. So I'm like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be overpowering. Like the one thing I hate, I guess, is like, I don't know, it's like when I have like a toasted sandwich with cheese and bacon, it's like sometimes it can taste, I don't know, it's like depending on how you make it, it can taste either good or it will just taste bland. And
Ah.
I think it depends on the type of cheese that you use. And like, so I've had a few cheese and like cheese toasted sandwiches, and I'm just like, man, this is bland. Like, I can't eat that. It just does not taste right. So that's why I make my own. Like, it's with certain foods, like if you make it yourself, you go, yeah, this is perfect. But then if like you eat one from like, say, just like, I don't know, like a coffee shop or whatever, like it's usually just like, man, this doesn't taste right.
This doesn't taste. There's something's wrong here.
Yeah, it's just not good, and I'm just like, why did I spend money on this?
Money was not well spent.
Yep. Man, it's like when I was at TwitchCon, like I was looking around at like the food stalls they had, and
Mhm.
and I was just going, man, I have no idea what a lot of these foods are. So I'm just there going, can I find something familiar to me? Like it's like, and because like I'm a really fussy eater, so I will only eat certain things, and I'll just be like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm not eating that.
I'm very picky too.
It's like I'm so picky like that. It's like, I guess with my family when they cook dinner, it's like sometimes I'll go, yeah, I'll eat that, or they'll go, or I'll just be like, nah, I'll get my own. I'll be fine. Like,
That's-
it's
Yeah, just ask food from your mom. That's good. My mom is like an amazing cook, so
yeah, it's like sometimes like my mum will be like, oh, we're having this tonight. I know you don't like this, so you can get whatever you want to go and get, and I'll be like, all right, cool. So
go.
so it's like sometimes I just decide myself and go, okay, I'm just gonna make this and eat this.
At least you can cook. I can't cook for shit.
It's like I can cook some things, but like with other things, I'm just like, I got no freaking idea. So I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll. It's like I'll just be like, oh, I'll just make a toaster sandwich. Oh, I'll just make pasta or something, or I'll cook a steak or something. If we've got steak, I'll be like, oh, I'll cook steak.
Yo, steak. Oh my god,
Oh,
bro,
steak.
you're actually making me so hungry right now.
It's
It's like 9 p.m. and I haven't eaten dinner.
it's like you'll have to come to Australia one day, and we'll be like, let's all have a steak barbecue.
I feel like lamb's really good there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I find, well, I think this is a pretty common thing that happens. It's like a lot of the good cut steaks and meats always go overseas, so we get all the crap stuff. Like we get left with all the average sort of stuff. Like that's the B tier stuff. Like
That's the B tier, Jesus.
it's like, oh, you want the A tier? Oh, you got to go overseas for that. Because
Mm,
like I was over in the Netherlands and I went into, I think, this like burger shop. It was like a Middle Eastern run burger shop, and I was like, oh, I'll go check it out. And their top product was like an Aussie Angus burger with Angus beef.
Angus.
And I was like looking at that, and I was like, hey yo, respect, acknowledging good Australian meat. But I
don't know why the Angus isn't making me laugh. Just like,
I don't know, it's just, I guess we just have weird names for meats. I don't
this
know.
reminds me of Chungus.
Like it's the big chungus. But
It is a big Chungus Angus.
the big chungus burger. But
Oh my god, I'm
like,
imagining that. Oh my god.
and I looked at the price, and I was like, what? How much is that? Like,
How much is it?
I think if from memory, it was like around 30 euros or something.
I'm converting. Give me a sec.
And I was just looking at that, and I'm thinking, far out. Like, how much do you want for that?
For a burger, it's 1,700 pesos for me. What the actual fuck?
What? God
That's so
damn.
expensive.
Yeah, like, and converting that back to like Australian dollars, it was like close to $45 or something, and I was like, what? Like, how much? So I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely not buying that. Like, it's
My
like
wallet, way too
my
much.
wallet would be going, why did you spend that much on food, man? Like, it's
I'm
like
gonna have a one-on-one talk with my
like
wallet back in my room.
like I could probably feed a family of 4 with like a KFC bucket or something for that price.
If all goes down, just go back to KFC.
Just go back to KFC and get a big family feast or something, and it'll be much
Yeah,
more
like,
worth the money.
Sure, just go eat the chicken. Just go eat the mashed potatoes. Maybe
Yeah.
even eat even their soups
Yeah.
because those taste great.
Yeah, it's like, and then looking at this world with the inflation going up. Yeah, this is not going to be worth it.
Oh my god, inflation! I haven't heard that since last year in school. Jesus Christ! When we
I've been
had-
hearing about inflation the last 3 months, like since I came back from Europe, because it was like,
no.
it's like, inflation is going up, and I'm like, okay, what does this mean? Oh, everything's going up. All the prices are going up, like,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, bruh, like, why?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just so bad, like, inflation, like, going up, like,
Mhm.
it's like, so like all the price of food and petrol and everything here is just nuts at the moment.
Nuts. And when you're in the Philippines, like every day they're gonna be like, okay, this is the price for gas.
Oh god.
And this is the price for meat and fish in the market. And we're just gonna be like, what the fuck? That is so expensive. Hello?
Yeah, it's like we had like the price of meat and everything just like go up and stuff, and I was just like, man, like even just to get a pack of sausages, like, bruh, why is it so expensive?
No, how are we gonna have a sausage party? I mean, what?
Oh, speaking of Sausage Party, I've never watched it, but
Neither have I.
I remember, I think this was a time years ago. I think weirdly enough, so one of my family members was in hospital back like around the time Sausage Party came out, and I overheard. I think I overheard in like the cafeteria in the hospital, like I think some like elderly people or parents or something were talking about Sausage Party and saying, should we take our kids to see Sausage Party because it looks like a kids movie?
Scared.
And I'm
scared.
And I went back and told my friends, and they were like, oh no, Sausage Party is not a kids movie.
It is not a kid's movie.
And I'm just going, what happens in Sausage Party? And they're like, oh, you did not want to know. And I'm like, oh no. It's not good. It's not good.
I've seen some reviews and I'm like, oh, what?
It's
Nani
basically
the fuck?
like if you thought Food Wars like was like, I think people literally call it like food porn. It's like
Food porn, the anime.
it's like Sausage Party is probably food porn.
It's basically
probably.
Food Wars on steroids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably. Never watched it, but people can probably confirm that. And yeah, I'm just like, oh no, you're gonna take your kids to see that? Oh no.
Oh, this is the worst kind of clickbait. Don't do it.
It's like, don't do it. Don't do it. It's like, think of the children.
Think of the children.
Think of the children. It's like, oh no. Like, it's like telling your kids to watch VTubers, definitely wholesome and friendly. Yeah, definitely wholesome and friendly.
To be fair, when I first like started off, I was so fucking wholesome as fuck.
Oh,
And then I met people, and I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
I'm bad now. I am, yeah.
Oh yeah. I think compared to
Get
my
my rice still 90.
it's like compare like I guess compare when I started like streaming when I was an IRL streamer, like I was a lot more wholesome back then, and then got into the vtubing community and it's probably got much worse from there. Like it's like well, I guess I got exposed to many different VTubers over my time,
I mean,
and
there's Momo.
I mean Momo compared
I
to
love you, Momo.
Momo compared to some of the other VTubers out there, way much more wholesome.
She is.
Yeah, it's like I'd say most people that we like that are friends of ours probably somewhat on the wholesome spectrum compared to many others out there, and like, but then again, one that I've collabed with and became friends with, I'd say they're wholesome but very lewd. Like, it's like yeah, it's like very, very lewd. Like, I'm just like, open Twitter. Oh.
I mean, there's a difference between like someone who's experienced or is compared to someone that's
oh
just
yeah.
knows a lot of shit.
Yeah, it's
I
like
am definitely falling to the spectrum of just knowing a lot of shit.
oh yeah. I've learned a lot of stuff like since I became a VTuber. And I'm just like, oh, I see. That's what that means. Oh, okay. Cuz IRL, like, I'd say I'm, well, very, very pure IRL. But
I'm depends
yeah.
on who I'm with.
Yeah. I still I keep like a very pure level, but like when I'm with some of my friends, yeah, we'll definitely talk like, oh yeah, anything goes, but like experience wise, super pure. the purest out there. But
And people are like saying me like, you don't know about this shit? I'm like, I do. I just don't talk about it.
yeah, it's like people go, oh, you didn't tell me you knew that stuff. It's like, that's because I don't talk about that stuff very much. But
And you never asked me if I know about this stuff.
yeah, and I'm just like, but yeah, it's like Mystic. I think Mystic is probably one of the most, I guess, lewd people I would know, probably. Like,
Oh god.
it's like, considering like her background as like an NSFW content creator slash also voice actor, all that sort of stuff, and it's like, it makes sense. It makes sense, like how she sort of themes around all that different stuff, and like I always say to people, like, hey, it doesn't matter if you're one or the other, like, as long as everyone's cool with each other and friendly and stuff and not weird, it's always cool. like because I've seen some weird people in the community. Like, and I'm just like, oh god, oh boy.
I was kind of traumatized.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday, I'm not gonna say what happened, but I've seen some shit.
Oh.
Yesterday in a call with AKA the boys, but
Oh.
that's just the boys being the boys.
Yeah. It's like, I've seen some pretty messed up stuff, like, in conversations with friends and stuff, and I'm like, oh god, why do you know this? Like,
how do you know this?
How do you know this? And it's like, but yeah, but in general with the VTubing community, like, I've seen some pretty bizarre stuff. like, and known some people like who had connections to other people who did some pretty stuffed up sort of shit.
No.
But it's like, obviously I won't go and make, I guess, open the can of worms on these situations, but it's like, but it's just some pretty stuffed up stuff, and it's like, and luckily they've been shut down from doing all that sort of stuff, because it's,
That's good.
because it was some really messed up shit, because that basically, that just mentally was like, when I read all that, I was like, what the fuck? And it was so traumatic, because I was just like, man, all these people were affected by it and I knew nothing about it, and I was like, man, I wish I could have helped them. Like, I wish I could have. It's like, I wish I could have prevented it if I was one to know about it, but obviously, like,
it's one of those questions
it's just
that you'll think about.
It's one of those things you don't think about, because it's like you weren't aware of it, and it's like,
once you're aware of it, you're just gonna be like, huh,
yeah,
would I have done something different if I knew about this shit?
Yeah, like, I can definitely say for certain, like, if I knew about it, like, I would have definitely been on this person's ass and been like, man, why are you doing this shit? Like, and
intervention, that's our.
It's like, I can say in general, like, I'm not someone that likes cancel culture. I don't like cancel culture, never have. But
Agreed.
But seeing what this person did, and some of my friends going public talking about this stuff and telling people stay away from this person and all that sort of shit, I was like, you did a justice there. You did a justice for the community, because, like,
I'll accept the canceling.
Yeah, I would accept it in the case where it's like, it's actually being used for the right thing and telling people to stay away from a predator or something like that. Like, but if you're just doing it just to, like, get brownie points off someone who hasn't done anything wrong, but you just want to, just because you want to do it to ruin someone for no reason, it's like, no. Like, it's like, oh, they said this. It's like, yeah, but
and that's something they said, like, oh, like, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's like, just because someone said something 10 years ago doesn't mean they stand by it today.
Exactly.
Like, I've said dumb shit. I can openly say that I've said some dumb shit, but I don't stand by that shit that I said years ago. Like, when I was a teenager, like, I was a dumb teenager.
We were all dumb teenagers.
Like, I didn't know shit back then. Like, it's like, there's still lots of stuff that I don't, in general, understand. So I'm just like, of course I'm gonna say something stupid if I don't understand it. Like, it's just one of those things that happens. Like, some people get caught, like, saying something dumb, not realizing that it actually might be hurtful or whatever. But then you sort of go, hey, like, if it actually does harm someone, you apologize for it, and you won't, and you learn not to say it. It's like, there's particular words, I guess, that people these days associate as being bad, but then also commonly used words, and it's like, you sort of go, okay, well, who's allowed to say that? Who's not allowed to say that? It's like, I mean, in my sort of own mindset, I go, okay, well, how about just no one says it?
Exactly.
Like some people, like, I guess, at least in Australian culture, like, the R word, like the R word of being like, oh, someone's dumb or something like that. It's like, we say that a lot because in Australian culture it's just been very common to say, like, to someone that's stupid. But it's like people have also said openly, oh, like, you shouldn't say it because it means these particular things. So you go, okay, well, I've got to learn not to say it. Like, it's just one of those things because in Australian culture, I think it's very common for us to, I guess, insult people in what we think is a funny way. But it can come off as, like, I guess, racial humor because our type of humor is quite like really open, direct humor. So we tend to be a culture that will make jokes about other cultures a lot and really openly. And an experience of this, I remember a comedian, I think he's a comedian with Hispanic background or something. His name was Gabriel Iglesias, I think. And he's so funny. He's like a really funny comedian. He came to Australia and I think he learned pretty quickly like what type of humor we have. And he went out to the beach and like everyone was making fun of him. Like he thought everyone was like just joking about someone else, but then he realized they were joking about him. And he was like, they were like, oh no, look at that man on the water, and he's floating on the water because like of his weight. And like he was just like, and everyone was just going, oh, look at that man floating on the water, like trying to make a bit of a joke out of it. And it's pretty direct like humor that can, if you're not used to our humor, it can come off as like quite, I guess, either insulting or offensive humor.
That's true.
So
it's kind of like the same for us as well, because like Philippines, like, how do I say this? I forgot the word, but there are like certain like attitudes that it's non-existent for us. So like,
yeah,
if sarcastic, there we go. Like sarcasm
sarcastic
is
humor, sarcastic humor.
Yeah, sarcastic humor is really not a thing for us. So like, if someone is being quote unquote sarcastic for them, we're gonna like sometimes say like, are you serious? Is that true?
Yeah.
And they're be like, bro, I'm just being sarcastic.
Yeah, I remember, this was something funny, a clip I saw where I think it was, so in Australia we have a thing that's known as the Tim Tam Slam. And
I've heard of it.
Yeah, and Australians, like, with the humor, we like to tell people something, but we're actually telling them a lie, and they believe it. And Sitsnap was told supposedly what a Tim Tam Slam was. And she was told that it was this is the funniest thing. She was told that a Tim Tam Slam was you get a pack of Tim Tams, you put it on the ground and you step on it.
Oh no!
So and Gant was just like, oh no, because they were at like a signing and someone gave her a pack of Tim Tams. And someone in the crowd said, do a Tim Tam Slam. And they were all in on the joke. So they were all in on the joke. They knew that Sydney was going to do the wrong thing. So she got up and slammed these Tim Tams and stepped on them.
Like the whole box?
Like the whole pack of Tim Tams.
No!
And this person was probably, I don't know if this person was in on the joke or not, but if this person wasn't, they would have just been standing there watching someone smash their pack of Tim Tams.
Oh no!
Oh no! And like Gant was just like looking at Sydney and going, "What are you doing?" It's like she's like, "I'm doing a Tim Tam Slam," and Gant's like, "No, that's not a Tim Tam Slam." Oh no, it was but it's so funny because Australian humor as well can be so funny where we just like tell someone what something is, but we're lying to them about what it actually is.
I'm scared now. I'm not gonna believe any of my Australian friends anymore.
Oh no.
I'm looking at you, hello, yo.
Oh no.
Fucking the Aussie boys, I'm not gonna trust y'all anymore.
It's like always be skeptical when you're told about something funny or like something that's, I guess, meant to be what they describe it as, because it might not be the case. Like,
I sent you something in DMs.
oh man, it's nuts. Okay. Yeah, so it's quite funny, but it's just one of those things like with humor that like Australian humor can either be really, I guess, out there and offensive humor, but if you're an Australian or if you're someone with a cultural background from another country that lives in Australia, you would love that humor because we all joke about it to each other all the time. But it's just one of those things, I guess, you got to look out for if you're someone that has never been to Australia, because you might have someone just say a random joke about your culture and think that you'll find it funny, but you might just suddenly be thrown off and go, "What?"
Bro, make fun of our country's culture all the time. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like there's just I think there's some countries out there where making fun of like a culture is just like, oh, okay, but
okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna slowly walk away from you now.
It's like slowly walking away, just like, yeah, like, but I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, I guess you just gotta be on the lookout for people who might potentially overstep the line on making a joke about culture, because there's some people that will just go, there's a limit to how far you can go before it becomes, I guess, like a fist fight.
No.
But who knows? Like, I guess one thing we can talk about before we head off on the podcast is video games, because we have not touched video games really. But
yeah, despite being VTubers,
despite being VTubers, like we definitely talked about anime. We've talked about, I guess, travel and different cultures, like, and the VTubing scene in general. But we haven't touched games, and we really haven't touched music either. Like,
yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, so what are some of your favorite video games? Like anything that you grew up with that you find influential or anything like that?
So I am not the person who like grew up with a bunch of consoles. The only consoles I've had ever in my life, I'm sorry for my motto right now.
That's all right.
Is I used to have a PSP when I was a kid. And now I think at some point I also got myself an Xbox 360.
Nice.
And now I have a Switch. But I guess one of my games like I consider nostalgic is definitely Persona.
Persona games. Yeah.
I am a full-on geek on Persona.
I've got to get into Persona. Like, I've heard so many good things about it. Like, I'll have to get into Persona. Like, I don't know if I should start from the beginning and just go, but
honestly, it's fine wherever you go. There are some installments where there are like crossovers between some of the games, but it doesn't matter where you go. There's not that much like needed knowledge from previous games.
Yeah, like,
but if I had to say like a start over, definitely. This is just bias.
Okay.
But I'd say start Persona 4.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Persona 4 and especially Persona 5 as well. So
Persona 5's great.
Yeah.
It's just so much longer than the other other two
Right.
games.
Yeah, like yeah, I'll probably pick up Persona 4 one day and I'll be like, all right, let's go. Let's start from here and just see how this is.
Yeah.
But
I've been streaming Persona 4 Golden actually
hmm,
recently. I might get back to
nice.
streaming that soon.
Yeah. Is there any other like I guess games that have shaped I guess you as a gamer, like aside from just Persona? Like
If I'd say nostalgia wise again, I was really into the horror RPG scene.
okay. Yeah,
So
that's
like Eve, Misao, Mad Father, Witch's House.
hmm.
To be fair, Witch's House was actually the game that I played on my debut stream,
Oh nice. Cool.
which was kind of sad because the first part when I played that, I didn't know I had to turn on the settings in Twitch to like archive. Well, not really archive, but like save the stream.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
basically, my debut stream is like just disappeared into the void.
Damn.
But
Yeah, one thing I tend to do with my streams is like if I know I've had a good stream, like I usually will like because I have Twitch like archive like the last I think you can have like up to the last 2 weeks or something. Like
Mhm.
I usually save the streams where I go, yeah, that was a good stream. I'm gonna save that, put that on a secondary hard drive, and just keep that somewhere in case I want to make like some highlights or something in the future. And
It's actually really smart. I should probably do that as well.
because I need to make videos, but I just haven't done it in a long time. Like I made a couple
Edit it.
highlights, but yeah, I think for me, games that have shaped me, obviously the Sonic
Mhm.
series, because I had
Ah.
like one of my first consoles was the PS2, so I had the Sonic Gems collection, which a lot of people seem to be after these days now. Like I have the Gems collection, playing the classic games. Like I was playing Sonic CD, and
Mhm.
I was also playing some of the Game Gear Sonic games, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. But I think Sonic, Mario, like a lot of the more old school gaming franchises, like from the 80s and 90s, shaped me as a gamer because I love retro games. I love collecting the old systems and the old games and just having them all like as a collection. So,
Mhm.
yeah, like I think, but yeah, Sonic is a big impact on my gaming sort of, I guess, well, just in general in the gaming scene. But I recently have been getting more into, I guess, just some of the more indie titles as well, like seeing a lot of the 2D
Oh.
indie titles out there. Obviously, fighting games like Street Fighter as well, because I love the fighting games. Like, just even though I don't know how to play them very well, I love playing them.
Wait, I feel like the fighting is like Street Fighter.
Oh yeah,
And since
like
you're gonna go into Persona, you should play Persona 4 Arena then.
oh okay,
Because
yeah,
the style is like sure there's like visual novel and kind of a
hmm,
crossover with Persona 3, but that's fine.
okay,
But the fighting portion is literally like Street Fighter.
yeah.
So
It's
it's
interesting.
really nice.
Like I love like the old school 2D sort of fighting games, like arcade style. It's
Mhm.
just so good. And I think like I'm trying to think of other things that really shaped gaming for me because retro games just in general, like the retro 2D aesthetic like with games is so cool to me. But I think seeing, I guess, one of the new Sonic games that's coming, Sonic Frontiers, take Sonic into an open world sort of style is
Ooh.
is really interesting to me because it's got like that old school Sonic Adventure feeling a little bit with the worlds. So I'm just like, yeah, this is hopefully the game that will make Sonic better again, I guess. Because
Makes Sonic better.
yeah, because but one thing that Sonic always does well, and this kind of leads into the topic of music, is Sonic always does music really well. Like,
Yeah, I
the
agree with that.
soundtracks are bangers. Like, Crush 40, bangers. Like, it's like, I love the Sonic series music, like whether it's Crush 40 with the rock guitars and stuff, sometimes there's the EDM stuff, there's a lot of techno tracks just in general. Sonic does it all well. Like, there's hardly ever been a game that would fail at the soundtrack.
It's very recognizable as well.
Yeah,
Like the
like,
style of Sonic music, I can recognize it like right away. That,
yeah,
this is an OST from Sonic.
yeah, it's like that influence of like Crush 40 with the hard rock sort of style. It's just distinctly Sonic. Like, if you hear like a theme song like Crush 40 with Live and Learn or Open Your Heart or anything like that, you just go, yep, that's Sonic. Like, or even just like hearing that City Escape song, like hearing Sonic like having that sort of catchy like Escape from the City sort of song. It's just it's awesome. But
Another game that kind of has like that sort of feel with their soundtrack, for me, in my opinion, is definitely Undertale.
yeah, I've heard a little bit of the Undertale sort of soundtrack a little bit. It's really good.
It's really good to the point that someone in the community literally made a musical for it.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
really good. It's really good. The people who did the characters, the voice acting, like they
Yeah.
did a whole ass 4-hour production
Damn.
for Undertales, and it's just like, what?
Oh man.
Like they
Yeah,
feature like their own lyrics and maybe like some lyrics that were made from the community itself is just amazing. Like
that's awesome.
OST from games can really help like story building at some sense.
Yeah, it's like in Sonic Adventure 2, like there's like one of the final sort of cutscenes in the game. Like you see Sonic and Shadow like going super with the Chaos Emeralds, and then you hear Live and Learn play, and you're just like, oh boy, we're ready for a fight now. We're ready for the final boss, and it's like, let's go. But
It's just a thing. It
it's
hypes you up.
it's
It
it's
either
just a
hypes you up or breaks you down crying.
yeah, and like just hearing a good theme song like come in and play like in the final boss, it's so good. And Sonic has done that really well many times, and I hope with this game that we get some really good banger soundtracks, which we technically have, by the way, because the ending theme, they decided to bring 1OK Rock in for the ending theme with Vandalize, and I was like, nice. And it's a censored version of the song, by the way, so
Censored version. Okay.
so because originally the lyrics said originally it said fuck the pain away, my bed is in ruins, and I'm like, oh.
Oh.
So they had to tone it down for the Sonic version, so yeah. But
It's technically still a kid's game, yeah.
but there's a good meme with it. I'll have to share the meme with you after because it's so good. But yeah, but I guess with music, because I think we have a pretty general consensus, like hard rock, like rock music in general is a vibe. So, but
Sure.
what type of, I guess, sub-genres of rock, I guess, do you like rock or metal or anything like that?
Oh, that's hard, I guess. That's a really hard question. Because I do like used to listen to like some old bands, I guess.
Okay.
Like there's 21 Guns. Like that's an old song that I really,
Oh
really like.
yeah, that's a Green Day song, ain't it?
Yeah, Green Day.
Yeah.
And
I
what
love
other
I love
band?
American Idiot by them. Like I just
Yes!
yeah, I can't deny American Idiot. It's a good
I just
song.
love it for the meme. It's a good meme
Oh
song and a
yeah,
good
it is. Me and my
but that's
friends, me and my friends originally were gonna make a parody song of American Idiot called Australian Idiot, but but we never ended up doing it because like we're not good singers or anything like that. We can like make lyrics,
No,
but we
don't let
can't.
that stop you.
It's like we can't sing or play guitar or anything like that. But like, I mean, maybe I could try and make Australian Idiot. Who knows?
Wanna be an Australian idiot.
Yeah, we had some lyrics prepared, but we've lost them over time. So
Hello, Daro.
it's like we'll definitely make it again.
Let's go. I'd be so down to hear that, man.
Hey, I've come to represent the boys. Let's go.
Hello, Daro.
Oh man. But yeah, like One OK Rock has become a band that I've really enjoyed in recent times. I think also, obviously, Linkin Park, Blink-182.
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park was my vibe for a while, especially after Chester's passing. Like, I marathoned Linkin Park and caught up on all their albums and stuff. But and then Bring Me the Horizon sort of took the place as being my alternative to Linkin Park. So I ended up listening to Bring Me the Horizon a lot and enjoyed a lot of their songs.
Really listen to some more rock then.
Yeah, it's...
Because honestly, my music like just varies.
Yeah, I find like, when I was a kid, like my sort of... I was more like a pop listener until high school because in the car, my mum would always play pop music, that getting the pop hits out from the 2000s. Like you had Avril Lavigne and all them in there, and I was like, Avril Lavigne's good though. I vibe with Avril Lavigne.
I love her so much. I particularly like her song, Alice, from the Alice in Wonderland live action adaptation that Hollywood did. I particularly like that a lot.
Yeah, it's like, I think some of my favorites from her, like obviously Skater Boy. Skater Boy is like, gotta enjoy that. I think there's another song, like where like the song, I don't know if it's called I'm With You or something. But
What the Hell is also a song.
yeah, I just remembered that one. That's a good one. Baby Metal's one of my favorite bands as well. Like Baby Metal is so good. Like they have some good bangers. Like, and they did a collaboration with Bring Me the Horizon in recent years, so that was cool. There's also, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate on this one, and I'm just going to be like, bro, like, I enjoy my music. I got to admit, Machine Gun Kelly did some really good pop punk stuff. Like, just saying. Like,
Okay.
although, like, because I gotta say, like, I liked his stuff. Like, I supported his stuff with Tickets to My Downfall and even the recent album. Like, as much as he had his beef with Eminem and stuff, like, I like Eminem as well. So just saying, like, I don't support either side on that debate.
We just respect their works.
I respect the works. Like,
not the person.
MGK, like, I feel like if I was to meet the dude, I could vibe with him, but at the same time, like, I'm just like, bro, like, know your place. Like, know your place. Like, don't overstep the boundaries. Like, respect the OGs. So...
You're really into bands, are you?
Yeah, like, 3 Days Grace is another one. I love 3 Days Grace's work. There's also...
old fans over there.
It's like Bullet for My Valentine, another good one. I know a lot of rock and sort of emo-ish bands. Like,
More like the chill ones, like Boys Like Girls, Hero
yeah,
Heroine. I really like that song a lot.
it's like another band falling in reverse. Ronnie Radke with his stuff, always good.
There's Paramore too.
Paramore, yep, there's another one. I like Disturbed, can't forget Disturbed. I could literally go through my emo playlist. I have.
Okay, they don't count as an emo band, but I do like the song Paralyzed by Big Time Rush. Just because of like the
Okay.
rockish vibe that they did. It's like, yes. The freaking
Yeah.
episode they did in the show where they just like started performing in the middle of the street in a big ass truck.
Yeah, yeah. I've got so many bands on here. Like, I'd be spending hours naming them all, but
Bro, my
so many good
Spotify
bands.
playlist is like all over the place, especially when it comes to languages.
Okay, yeah. It's like I'm just gonna send this playlist to you, like send my entire heavy emo playlist.
Do it, do it, do it. Who knows? I
It's
might
like
need some new.
you might find some
Might
good
put it in
tunes
my
in there.
playlist.
It's
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
it's a mix of stuff, but there's good stuff in there. But yeah, but we could be spending a long time talking about music in general. There's so much good stuff.
That's true.
Like Eminem and a lot of the rappers like shaped my sort of, I guess, way of trying to make lyrics, because I like writing lyrics. I'm not a good singer or rap. Well, I can rap a bit, but I can't.
Ayo, spit some bars.
It's like, I will say this about me though, I'm not a freestyle rapper. So
Oh, okay.
so it's like I'm not great with coming up with like the lyrics right on the spot, but I love spending time writing lyrics. So
I just like singing.
it's like I would love to do like I remember when Momo was doing her covers of songs and stuff. Like
Oh,
I loved like listening to her covers, and then I was like going, "Hey yo, we should try and do a cover together." like
yo,
Like,
I've
we
always
should-
wanted to do that with someone.
like I would love to be like the rap section, just be like, "Okay, I'm coming in for the rap section."
Hey, he's
But-
dropping some beats.
Yeah, it's like drop the beat right now and just give me the lyrics, and I'll spit the lyrics.
Hey,
But
yo,
yeah,
this track, not this track. Yeah, where them tracks coming? I want to hear them.
oh yeah, it's like I really wanna try and collab with some people and make like maybe an EP or something, like maybe a rap group EP, or like just a general EP with a bunch of people. But
In that same, mostly I want to do that with my nucleus.
that would be interesting.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I kind of imagine of us like doing one big song cover. If they're
Oh,
up
that'd
to
be
it, of
cool.
course.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like, who knows? Maybe it's like we should try and get a bunch of people together, and we could like all try and make something. Who knows?
There's a lot of people I want to like potentially do song covers with, but I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, it's just like you just gotta plan it. You gotta try and figure it all out, and it's
I
like,
don't have the balls
yeah,
to ask people.
yeah. It's like, bro, I gotta ask people. Damn.
Hell nah.
Hell. Yeah.
Even though I'm classified as an extrovert in the MBTI test, I'm introverted when it comes to these type of shit.
It's like I find I feel like I'm more introverted, but I don't know. It's like when I'm out in crowds,
Maybe an introvert.
when I'm out in crowds, I'm just like, bro, I stick to my peeps, because I'm just like, yeah, I'm not confident going up to other people.
If they approach me first, then sure, I'll do it.
Oh, yeah.
But me doing
Yeah.
the first move? Hell no.
Oh yeah,
I'm a runaway.
I think as over my time of like streaming and stuff, I've become much better at like approaching other people and going, oh yeah, let's do this. Like, I made this podcast series happen. Like, it's like,
made this happen.
it's like I made the podcast series and I had to go and ask people. That was that was tough, but it's got easier over time. It's got a lot easier, like over time, asking people and going, hey, if you're interested. But let's go. Like, maybe I can get some people together and drop an EP. Who knows? I would love to drop a fire EP.
Yeah, man. Imagine dropping some song covers. Damn.
Oh, damn, that'll be interesting. It's like,
Damn,
I'd be first in line going, yo, let's go.
Let's go. I know people who does their own EPs. I'm looking at you, Max VTuber.
I think me and Max at one point were talking about something. Like, at one point in the Twitch chat, we were going, yo, we should do something. But who knows? Maybe
You're singing.
it's like, I remember, like, I just remember, like, in Twitch chat just being like, oh yeah, like, it's like, let's do something next. like maybe who knows, in the future me and Max might do something. Just depends.
Let's go. Keshi, I mean, what? Sorry.
It's like, I'll be hitting up Max going like, hey yo, let's make a rap song or something.
Oh my god, I'll be so excited to hear that.
Like, I made a set of rap lyrics a while ago, and I think, in my opinion, it drops pretty hard, but it also maybe crosses some boundaries that probably shouldn't be crossed. So I was like, yeah, I might scrap a bit of that. Like, it was a little bit, the lines were a little bit too, I'd say, like, you could say, like, if you think classic Eminem, like, drops some pretty harsh lines, I think mine were probably on that level. So I was like, yeah, I probably won't release that. I'll refine it so it's a little bit more balanced and not heavy hitting. But like, I've wrote many lyrics out of vent before, like trying to vent stuff. That's one of my ways of writing lyrics, just venting and going, let's go, write the lines.
I mean, that's good. That's good. It's a great way to express what you feel.
Yeah, it can be really good sometimes. Like, just going, all right, I'm gonna make this really emotional set of lyrics that drop pretty hard, and sometimes are good, sometimes are not. And then it's like, I find my lyrics are at my best when I vent, pretty much. if
Yeah, 'cause that's where, like, your emotions are at its vulnerable.
Yeah, so it's like, if my emotions are like set in like an angry mood or something like that, I drop the hard bars. I drop the Eminem style hard bars.
Oh god.
I still remember, this is what someone said to me a few years ago when I was starting a new job, and we were meeting up like for I think some kind of induction or something, and we were all just having lunch and chatting and talking about music. I showed them some bars, and they were like, yo, you could be the next Eminem, man. I'm just like, nah, no way. I'm like,
Let's go.
it's like, you're bullshitting me. But
I'm curious. Hey, yo, album drop when? Come on.
It's like, bro, I gotta get some people that know how to make music, so
Yeah, we need people to mix, because mixing is hard.
and then I'll just start saying the lyrics, and like, then they can mix the lyrics in and go, how does that sound? And I'll be like, perfect, let's go.
Let's go.
But either way, I think this is going to be the cue where we end it here, because we've been going for quite a bit. So we still have many things we could talk about, and I think one thing I want to do is I want to do a Christmas special at some point, obviously around Christmas time.
Ooh.
And I want to try and bring as many people back as possible. So
Oh, let's go.
yeah, I want to bring like a lot of the people I've interviewed over time back into one stream to kind of do like a big Christmas special where we're all like just chatting and stuff.
Bringing that hot cocoa in.
It's like just bringing everything in. We're just like we'll just like bring.
Snuggle around the campfire with our hot cocos and blankets.
Oh hell yeah! It's like, although we could make it Aussie Christmas style, where we're just like cooking on a barbecue at Christmas time.
Oh fuck!
The Aussie summer Christmas style.
I gotta trip on a bobby. I mean, what?
Yeah, so who knows? We might do something. We might get a bunch of people back. Like, we'll get as many back as we can, possibly, and make it a big special and just have
Let's
everyone
go.
back. And of course, you'd be invited to that. So
Yeah, I'd be so down. Let's go.
yeah, we'll see how, if it happens. Like, I'll try and plan it. Maybe around November time, I'll start planning it and say, hey, who's interested? So
Let's go. Immediately raise his hand saying, pick me.
it's like, let's go. Pick me. But all right, so yeah, it's been great having you on the podcast. Like, it's been an honor having you on the podcast, and
Same here.
yeah, and thank you so much for coming on. Like, it was awesome. So
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
yeah, it's like I've had your name in mind for the podcast for a little while. Like, I wrote down this list probably like months ago, going, okay, like, who am I gonna get on this podcast? And I had interest in bringing you on, and I was like,
Oh, thank you.
and I was like, okay, hopefully when I get the chance, like, I'll swing by and be like, hey yo, you want to come on? Yeah.
But you literally did. You just swinged.
Yeah, I swung in and I'm like, all right,
You
want
did it.
to do it? Want to be in the podcast?
I'm in, sir. I'm in. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no problem. Like, I have another idea in future that's not just the Christmas special, but I had this idea where I would bring not only one person back to do an episode with, but like have two people who have been past members and bring them together to do an episode with. So that may happen in the future, like whenever I guess get enough episodes planned out where I can sort of space them out and have like essentially what would be like a follow-up episode, but with the twist of having another person to follow up with as well, and get two different people to know each other. So it'll be an interesting idea in future if I bring you back with another person. Like,
definitely.
yeah.
I'm totally not gonna shake in nervousness.
I'd be shaking in nervousness too. Like, I have got one episode planned that is now scheduled for November, which is basically gonna be two people who do know each other but coming together in an episode with me, and I'm just going, oh, how's this gonna go? How's this gonna go? This is gonna be the first time trying this, so we'll see how it goes. Like, I would love to do I guess it's kind of like, it's not, I guess, like, one way people would look at it is like being a filler episode because you've got a returning person back on the podcast to talk about potentially new things. But if you're doing that and having a second person who also is a former guest on the podcast coming in, it would potentially make it different. Because it wouldn't just be a filler episode. It would be like, hey, here's two people following up, but also talking about different things. And
Possibly haven't met each other yet.
Yeah.
Possibly meeting for the first time.
Yeah, it would be so interesting. Like, I had this really crazy idea in my head, and I was just like, what if I matched these two people up? And I'm like, how's that gonna go? But
How's that gonna go? I mean, if it's like with me and Johnny, because I do know that she's been a guest on your podcast, it's just gonna
Yeah.
be like the girls.
Yeah, I feel like that would definitely be a combination that I would already thought of. I'd be like, oh yeah, you and Johnny, like that would be that would be a fun combination.
Filipinos.
Yeah, it'd be fun to see you both like on a return episode. So that may happen in the future. So
Let's go.
yeah, it's like obviously I don't want to start clamping down and being like I'm gonna promise all this stuff, but
Yeah.
because I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, we're totally gonna do this, totally do that. It's like I'm just gonna be like, hey, it's an idea that could be thrown around. It's an idea that could be thrown around. So yeah, but either way, like we're gonna end here. So thank you guys so much for coming in to watch this podcast episode with both of us, and also thanks again to Dawn for coming on, like representing the PolarisVT.
Yeah. Thank you. I hope I represented my group enough. I hope you're proud of me, my guys.
It's like I hope you're all proud. And
I'm still not used to being a senpai, but okay.
But either way, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have all enjoyed tonight, and we will see you all in another stream.